is in, Johnny is out, Gachi knows he has to deal with that Shadow Demon and is diving him as hard and fast as he can. Disruption to try and save himself for a second. That BKB is running out, Gachi, and you are deep once again. Tiny.
Forward. Getting at bottom's fine too, but it doesn't have like the same momentum that they want.
That was 900
you know what I mean?
gold to that Tiny as well. That's a lot of gold. Going the way of a hungry little support. Although there's a call out on Muncie's Magnus. I don't think I've seen him get it once. Oh, he got it in one game. But they know what he can do on that hero, and they say no. And we saw a little bit of that last night. Nabi's been copping some bans. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bubs cast. There's been a whole lot of them lately, and tonight I just couldn't miss this game. How is it just going to lift?
A lift?
Not much to follow up.
Didn't have the spear. Didn't have the spear. So something to note is the Invoker didn't have boots in that whole engagement. So if he overstepped, he was probably dead. But lucky for him.
Oh, sorry, super stacked.
Yeah, so the lanes have gotten much better for AU rejects this game than last match, which means the Dire's not going to have any momentum going into mid game at this rate. I'll not be playing bottom very much. Notice Mars is under his tower.
Oh,
just like
cold snap comes out. Harold's in trouble. No lucky bashes from Prey, so he sort of disappears into the tree. Bottle refill from Raccoon. Okay. Hold on. Is there a play? The supports are up in 3 or 4 seconds. But Gachi is huge. Has a Lincoln's, has his BKB, and has his Basher. Do they have anything to deal?
Once or twice to really destabilize them in the game.
And this is, we are the cattle capital of the world, and of course we're gonna love the space cow. I think I said this in a stream. Lord.
These Greaves on Winching are doing God's work for him. And it's insane. So they did change the Roshan's banner. It's not going to leave the lasting buff on them anymore. So these creeps are just going to be standard creeps.
Especially when you've got the cow stacking up on top. Who did? Yeah, the cow did 1300 damage.
Good.
The cow did 1300 damage. God.
The last pick Zeus has really paid off here. The vision game.
He is out, Winching, running, but the vessel is on top of him. Cold snap, but Mars is coming, and guys, you need to be careful because a big Mars ult can appear at any second. There it is. Good God. Just unbelievable. And I wonder if IO decides to go for, is it Blitzkrieg or Kritzkrieg, the heal one, the extra magic resistance? Could be pretty good, but then there's not a whole lot of magic team on. So
okay, Hancho has actually opted not to go for the blink. They've detected that they have absolutely zero momentum going into the mid game now, after they get 5-man wiped across the entire map. 3 lanes of them. As well as with the facets, we have like the most notable ones. We actually have an attack IO with the Kritzkrieg. We also have the Ricochet 2 on the Snap. I'm glad they're finally moving the IO up top, because a lot of the kills RFA's gotten have just been on the edge of he's playing max limits. If you add one more hero into the mix, it doesn't work. Oh my God, I don't think there's going to be much.
Okay.
Not going to be much going on in bottom lane.
RFA is putting some pain on these two very thick heroes, though. Series against Team Dog Cage. I have been messaged by many people who have told me that they were super impressed with your gameplay and your team's gameplay last night. So
Necrophos can be a mid, Necrophos can be a 1. I know Gachi's played it in the past, so it's incredibly flexible on the AU Rejects draft, and I honestly couldn't tell you how it's going to shake out. What I reckon they will be whirling axes and further by level 2. It's like Weaver, kind of. Really strong.
Oh, good God, Weaver. That hero, as a support, is nuts at the moment too, isn't it?
A little bit. Tiny instant from Slaughter Gang.
Yep. Okay.
So I expected the Breaker to get banned, but I guess taking it instead of leaving it on the table, it's kind of like the same thing.
That Wind Ranger though, Wind Ranger getting the run off, but I do hear a Spirit Breaker ult on the side, and it looks like Necro's been caught out of position. Does get the scythe off though before he goes down, so he doesn't go down empty-handed.
This axe, so they're gonna have to do stacks for the axe because he's gonna slightly lose lane into the Morphling Shadow Demon because like it's a hard lane. It's just, I'm not sure how they're going to make up the difference and actually hit their timings.
With him, swap in onto Gabala. They decide to try and deal with the axe first. Johnny trying to keep Ursa busy. But Gabala has decided he's just going to play forward as Gachi is running to that Shadow Demon, and the Shadow Demon is dead without buyback. Johnny doing what he can to fight the... Whenever I played Earth Spirit mid, I was picking it up specifically for those heals. It just, like, yes, the damage was good and it plays well with Earth Spirit's kit, but the amount of times that I would roll in, start a fight, drop the especially after that first game where they just get stomped out of existence, to see them just come back with such ferocity and annihilate, like, just annihilate this Dire team. Like, what could
Fire, which means as he levels up Little Shredder, he will be taking all the Little Shredder talents, and he'll be buying like a Maelstrom or a Gleipnir of some description, getting all these procs out. Tiny did take the crash landing, so he'll be pumping the toss.
Here, Team AU Rejects looking for the finish.
They're not confident to go for the throne, it seems. Almost a butterfly on the Venge, but I don't even think it's gonna a lot of heroes they just can't get them 100 zeros. They just can't kill them.
Hard to fight against a team that has a 30k lead, you know?
Yeah, that's just... If they weren't 30k up and they would... Because it just makes some spells absolutely busted. Like, imagine having a toss that does its damage in like a 700 AoE, and then Rubik just has that. For some reason.
I had a player in my stack today telling me about a Rubik that had, I think he said rot. Man's just trying to sink some beers and have a good night, and you're coming in here and just harshing his vibe in the biggest way possible. Report Gabala, ruining my vibes, dude.
Cho George gets the Agonyms. He's going to control all of the go-in from Radiant and just nullify the crap out of it. Faye with the Rubik is the most synonymous combo. The man has like 30,000 matches and like 3,000 on Rubik. So I definitely see that.
Right? Like, I was such a strong hero. They're feeling around. RFA getting a bit cheeky. Gubala. Chosen the creep. Oh, in comes that huge Mars arena. And the Tiny elects to blink into the arena, which is charged now in onto Shadow Demon, and he's used his disruption on that Gachi to try and keep him off him, but he couldn't keep that big old Moon Cow from just charging in, and that Moon Cow didn't die earlier, so he's able to keep playing this game.
Like, to what lane they'll be going.
Oh, we have an Invoker. How bloody exciting. God, I love Invoker. I don't play the hero, but I love seeing it played well. And here we have it live.
ten HP regen, and 5 mana. I mean, like, he's just not respecting the toss damage. He's expecting the
IO. Spirit Breaker decides he wants to take this kill on his own. Down goes Wing Ching.
Unfortunately.
Not much of a gap. Oh, they're looking. They're looking. Axe is here. Gets the blink call once again. Throws the Dagon out and drops the...
like, fine, because he has an Axe. 2-7 Tiny.
But
Hunter's the only one having like a reasonable game.
It's this XP differential. You've got 18 coming out on Gachi, 18. Raccoon is diving, and down goes Tiny as well. That's a 5-man wipe. It's a 5-man wipe.
The entire team is gone. They're all gone. What the hell?
Faye is now in trouble as well as he tries to run to his tower and just gets up down. Okay, nice young Harold. And Gachi going in bottom.
Gachi gets a kill. 2v1. Facets to call out here. Axe has the one-man army. The bear down, which means debuffs last 20% longer on the Ursa. Insanely good.
The owner's out now as well from the Invoker, and that Tiny is doing his best to slip away. Raccoon pushes the Invoker off, but now Raccoon might be in trouble depending on how this Rubik plays. Has the running! Axe wants the dunk!
They got him!
Oh
no,
my god! Rampage to that Axe! Oh my god, that Ruse doing everything it can to get up into its fountain, and it is not going to make it. Just yet, but they pop the Zeus off to try and finish him. Oh dear god, he's trying to switch to strength, he's trying as hard as he can. He's caught in that Zeus Aghanim Scepter with the Refresher, but he manages to sling blink out, and now...
Okay, farming. He will eventually win them this game if he itemizes correctly and just gets his timings. Relocate in.
Relo on mid, and immediately that huge Mars ult comes all of a sudden for Radiant Heroes there.
Break a charge, they're going for the IO.
Charge, going on the IO, they want to eliminate it because they know that they can win these fights if they do take it out. Huncho is feeling...
Bit of a nothing connection there.
Yeah.
Having 3 Mars, they're just going to play around the arena, I think. They'll play slow.
Seems simpler to execute, right? Like, it's a Mars ult,
Yeah,
it's a troll ult, it's an invoker, winning his lane and rotating. Like, this seems like the
Pit, and Slaughter Gang took second pick, Slaughter Gang and second pick Dire again. So again, this should favor the AU rejects for their drafting phase. First ban on the...
Ricochet. So we get the Rubik 5. So Snap does elect to be the position 3.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of play in this bottom lane as long as. And they're playing with fire here. This is a Morphling.
They're just BMing them at this point. Taunting Reverie in the fountain. Knowing his team doesn't
my
have
lord,
buyback.
he gets a bash, but now Gachi's pinned in the corner. Okay.
I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Tell me why.
Okay, so this Wind Ranger
What's wrong with me? Why can't I feel?
Played a lot a month ago, and then it fell off a cliff.
Top of that Morphling. There is the save we were talking about, though. Is it enough to keep this Morphling alive? The swap gets him away. You mentioned that earlier, that Benji would be there to swap afterwards. And now they may just lose Johnny instead of the whole bunch of damage, and Johnny goes down. There is a bear lurking on the sidelines. No, it's Gubala, once again, jumping on those supports on the back line. Gubala having a phenomenal game, this game.
One of the oldest players.
Did you after last night, because I did shout it out on stream, have you signed my petition to have Hoodwink removed from the game? And everyone out there in Twitch chat, I do have the petition up, so please go and get that hero.
He wants to play into Shadow Fiends because
can
you can't play
can we just talk about that? Can we talk about the Zeus? I'm seeing an axe called into a Zeus ult, and I'm seeing a dead Morphling. Rubik. I cannot count the amount of times I keep seeing this hero getting picked. I think this hero sucks. Like, I think it's... We are having a game. Dagon Axe.
Yeah. This has been a treat to watch so far. Okay, so they will wait for Roche to go bottom and
Zeus
then get the...
alone here. It's Elite Slayer 60, 60, 60, you know? Like, I want really, really creative names. Oh, okay, let me talk. This is the strongest support in all of Dota. Get that charge, but Huncho caught out of position, and he's scouted immediately by the bolt. Tiny goes in with the toss, but that's not going to be enough damage to deal with Wenjing, and now the Tiny is dead as well! Oh my...
player. You need your science, you need your RFA, you need the man who can really cook with Rubik. And you need good steals. So when you look at like a lot of the meta heroes...
Sea Salt's Kafuri... Oh! And Huncho goes on the Undying. He steps out of position and he goes down as well. This game is pretty active, isn't it? There are kills going on all over the map.
Ceaseless Dirge did act.
Well, you've got Bear Blink, the Zeus as well. They need to be very careful about how they defend this high ground.
The only way I can see them actually defending is if this Tiny is somehow able to actual defensive item now, so it's going to get a lot harder to kill him after that, you know?
Now,
He's
what I
still
will
using
say
the travels to farm efficiently.
is Dyer had some really, really good vision in this early game. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was scouting. It's kind of pretty hype, and so while I think they bought this when they were memeing and having a good time, in this game when there is just sort of burst damage coming out from Slaughter Gang, it sort of has there, and that spirit can still have a whole bunch of impact if it can somehow survive, but I don't think it is going to survive here because the bear is on top of it, and down goes the spirit. As
they don't have the damage anymore.
Not respecting this Io. That's what I'm seeing, right? This is the power of Io. This is why it's one of my favorite heroes. People think that this hero is boring. I get told all the time, Io's boring to play. Both of them look like they need something to bring it together. Slaughter Gangs looks like it's the stronger draft to me so far, but I feel like AU Rejects are cooking something, and it's a windy.
Now that I think about it, but they haven't actually decided what hero is going in what position. This could be a tiny one here. This could still be a wind one. Gooby is on the snap. Okay, it's the +5 tiny. Okay.
Wowee. Beautiful rotation from Prey, by the way, there as well. And he might just secure this rune right in front of the tiny's face. Oh, yeah, it hurts
so this is what I meant about when I said the Spirit Breaker will opt to charge middle for like the 4-minute rune, the 2-minute rune. He won't actually play bottom very much, and unfortunately I think it's going to sack the Mars just a little bit too much here. Because the Necro's going to Necro no matter what. You can't actually end facets during a game, and then having to track which one they actually took. It just gets so messy so quickly. And here we do. We have the Gubala Snapfire. And the instant, I think that's actually the reason why Reveries died a couple times.
Is charging onto that Shadow Demon, and he is just absolutely eliminated. That Zeus ult is doing some real damage. Wiped over and over again, and so the bluff works. The Zeus just sort of mans up a little bit, and they go, ooh, maybe there's an axe that's going to blink Dake on me. Maybe there's a bear that's going to blink on me. So, Venji to the bear.
Venge died bottom. Oh,
yep.
Not the worst movement around the map. I mean, we're just waiting for
then as well towards Dire. That's a lot of XP. That is a whole lot of XP.
Yeah. As well as Young Howard was playing, he is only
the double D. Oh, Gachi's hungry, jumping in cover. Johnny Spirit, Johnny, you need to get out of there. And Huncho's what? Yeah, on the snap as well. So, looks like they've found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's gonna just start punching him as fast and hard as he can, and I think
cross and killed him if the Io wasn't in the way. But they really didn't want to break on the Io, of course.
600 gold off the Radiance. So you know, on the Necro. So might be looking at that 15-minute timing, maybe even earlier. Yesterday or the day before, that ability to give his pos 5. And potentially a core if they're having a bad game, but to give his pos 5 that XP boost, you know, even if he doesn't get caught or doesn't.
He's got a big one. He's not too afraid. I have been seeing a lot of pros do the Ring of Health build on the Ursa. Very, very nice. I think it keeps you really
100, isn't it? For Ags?
Yeah, but it's got the
for the for the eat. I see what you're saying.
Sorry, 6,058. I was thinking 68 for some reason, but yeah, it can be.
And there's not enough. The 2 stacks is going to be enough. There we go.
48. Oof.
That's the other thing. Yeah. So just briefly, with Shadow Demon's Promulgate, it stacks for all damage incoming. So looks like they're thinking about it.
Set up.
Oh, big toss combo, toss avalanche. He does get the micro stun off, and he's real quick, and he's probably going to disappear into those trees. Now the team put out of position. He needs to get out of there as quickly as he can because there are 4 heroes. Swap, is it enough? Can he get out of there? Can he get into the trees? He is so thick, but there are 3 heroes just punching and punching and punching him. He gets the stun off onto the axe, but it's not enough, and that is a 5. Immediately follow with the Snapfire because they know what they want to do, and then within 0.5 seconds the Mars comes out. So is that just research? Is that knowledge? These teams know each other?
Yeah, so this is a bit of the teams knowing each other. Like, that's it. If they lost to it, they'd ban it. You're right, 100%.
100%. They might think, you know what, we can deal with it. It didn't cause us any troubles last time. All the IO was a ball to be thrown around by the Tiny. They'd be wrong. The IO had a huge impact.
Yeah, so it's he gets 1 per kill, otherwise 3 if he uses Cull, and he used Culling Blade a lot that game.
Dota, and in my opinion, possibly the best hero in all of Dota. This hero does so much. Okay, first of all, the illusion damage buffed. Phenomenal. We already knew just game on this Spirit Breaker. Did you say that Raccoon plays a lot of Spirit Breaker, or is this like a...
How the hell did he get up there? Look at where he's standing and look at the wall he plays.
He
That is
slipped past.
phenomenal.
He slipped past prey.
They will just be doing some kind of counter on whatever mid that is picked.
Perfect. But we see the Necro come out. Now Necro IO is a combo, and a pretty spooky dooky combo. The heal is flag. It just rubs me the right way, dude. Seeing Jason hanging from a flag like that. Oh, look at the other flag as well. I'm joking. Okay, let's get into this. So, tell me a little bit about these teams. What can we expect to see?
No. Oh, well, we're in.
Look at that, and we have a draft. Straight away, we got a look at that beautiful, stunning.
With the global cow is insane. And now he's starting to charge through waves. He has the 25% greater bash damage on level 25. He has all these items. This guy seems that winching might just be sacrificial lamb here. They want to get the Necro with the smoke, but winching just dewards. Yeah, I think he protected Gachi there. They would have just run straight across.
Garbage hero in the patch. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not seeing it anywhere on Dota Pro Tracker, and yet it's in all the games that I'm casting. Why? Why does this hero keep getting picked up?
It depends on. First of all, you need a Rubik.
Decides to take the Shadow Servant. Doesn't go with Promulgate. Probably undervalues it like most players, but Shadow Servant is still just so good. So
tell me, what does this one do? Tombstone doesn't care if he dies. He has a Ceaseless Dirge. Oh, random Ursa kill. Gachi's down.
What happened there? Was he just lurking on low HP? Did Prey take him? Was it Prey?
Yeah, he got slain by the tiny toss.
And it slipped out of my grasp once again with the Shadow Blade. He slinks away. Raccoon, you nerd.
I haven't seen a Shadow Demon very much. I do think it's one of the. I think it's like a timeless hero. If I had to,
it's just so
put
good.
It down.
It just does so much. It does so much. Morphin Power Rangers. Now I wasn't watching you guys until they told me I should be, and now I've got my eyes firmly set on you. Somehow you snagged Oct as your 5, and he is performing, man. That guy's got better heroes. Is it Slaughter Gang that you're more familiar with, or do you know both the stacks quite well?
I know both stacks quite well, and the next game is just going up, I think.
Already, geez. And the troll might have to pop ult here if he wants to have any chance of surviving it. Though I don't think he can survive. I think he decides to try and take someone out with him, and it's going to be Gabala. Huge!
Oh, the mech!
Oh, the mech! Big save! Stops that. Hold on. Johnny's caught once again, and there's the dunk. Nice. Okay. Yeah, it was a clone, but.
Which Manta are we talking about? What are we talking
the Manta on the Morphling. I know he's had it. Diadem too. It felt like they were on the back foot the entire game, and we saw how good these players can play. We saw how strong they were in the first game. Slaughter Gang absolutely killed it, and yet all of a sudden, relax call, and down goes the Sand King and the Shadow Demon almost immediately. This Venji needs to be careful. There's the Refresher Orb coming out to get the Tombstone down to give the vision for Team Radiant. They are thinking about a dunk, and now his dunk is on cooldown, and Reverie is sort of a little bit hungry. Johnny's coming with a swap, and can they find someone? The Glimmer Cape comes out of the axe, so they don't quite spot him. Wave of Terror. And the bottom of the ditch is because of his Aghanim Scepter, right? Like, that's what makes this hero so strong. And I see he's got the Halberd queued up. I get it, you're against an Ursa. But like...
900 during a big fight. The Aghanim's aura also gets really bigger, so Heartstop aura's only got like an 840 radius, and that just builds up to...
of Radiant is here now, and all of a sudden this fight that looked almost kind of good, suddenly it looks really, really bad as Gachi just turns on them and absolutely eliminates them. The Shadow Demon goes down, the Vengey goes down, and now the Vengey Spirit might go down. Morphling or... Does Johnny just have a magnet on top of him? Because this Mukau cannot stop charging immediately at Johnny, and there's no ports to save him this time. Gets a stun out, but it's too late, and the bear is just going to eat him for breakfast.
And that's better. Need to pick a flexible carry that doesn't have many matchup like losses. So in that position, you could pick like an Ursa, you could pick a Juggernaut, you could pick
What's wrong with me? Why can't I see?
Plays. Now I'm looking at the map, and I'm seeing a lot of good vision from Radiant. They've managed to
Sorry, can you finish off and I'll chime in?
No, you go. Go ahead.
It's a consequence of the Spirit Breaker, right? This guy who's...
Okay.
No way, they almost lost Reverie for that. That would be so nuts if he died there. Wowie.
But here comes another charge onto Johnny. The rune does spawn on top of the Tiny. He's got it. Does he try and dodge the EMP with the illusion rune? He doesn't, but he might get the kill onto the Spirit Breaker. But here comes Mars, absolutely pins that eye to the wall and says, no, you're not going to help this Tiny go anywhere. I mean, he is on Team Spirit, arguably one of the best teams in the entire world, so let's see if Huncho can replicate the big Lal plays, dude. So, which team you...
Rakon drops the easy?
What I was going to say about this Shadow Demon is it reminds me of just the Russian teams. They love this hero, they've always loved this hero, it just applies... God, they have so much HP. Is Spirit Breaker still the highest HP level 1 hero in the game? I think he is. It shocks me how much HP this guy has early on. It's just nuts. It's bonkers.
That would have been a 500 gold kill for Harold if he could have got it, but unfortunately they could not slay the Hunch Dog there. He's too strong.
Okay, so we got a 2k lead already. 8 minutes.
Yeah.
On his Rubik, one of the boys of Dog. So it's interesting to see that they do put a lot of value on these comfort heroes, because we're seeing that reflect in the pro scene, right? You've got players, really dominant players like Amar.
He's just not going to get, if you put the Shadow Demon ulti on the Ursa, you can even get the Ags for a break. The Ursa, the only way he can actually like get the short end of the demonic purge.
That is a spicy little start. Gachi, stun comes out onto him. He needs to be a little bit careful, but Wing Xing is here now on that Undying, and it's in his name. He'll make sure Gachi...
It's a bit of a wash. I don't think he needed the IO to do this, to be honest. I think this lane was always going to go this way once you saw the Spirit Breaker pick. But
Corruption was one of the best saves and best initiations in Dota, but then they gave the illusions more damage. Awesome. His laning phase, completely buffed by Promulgate. It is just one of the strongest facets that is being overlooked of a captain of this division. You've got these, 7 teams, all pretty spooky. How are you preparing? Are you watching Riyadh at the moment? Because obviously, if you're interested in Dota at all, you're draft. Because we've got so many good teams. We've got, obviously, the Pigs team with Tobbs and Mashed and Andros, Jakino. Super scary team with some super scary stand-ins. There's that Mighty and Hyper Cannon, and
oh my god.
I love that name so much, dude. Give me more Tasmanian hyper cannons and last Void alive, or brings him to the fight when he needs it. So I like it. I like the Faceless Void ban, but I am more interested to see what the pick is going to be here, because both of these drafts look good, but
and Radiant haven't drafted enough stuns here. It's really starting to show. Like they have a lot of short stuns, but they don't have any good, reliable long range lockdown. Nothing like a Bane, for example, and it's really starting to show.
But I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Sure. Thank you everyone who hung out in the stream tonight. You are all absolute cuties. I really appreciate you, and I can't stream unless you guys are here watching me.
Work for them. I think the Tiny might get let through, because just showing that even if he has such a bad lane, that he's unable to recover and actually, like, he did a lot of work, right? You look at his net worth and you think about how much impact he had during them.
And it's having a pretty good game. We haven't really felt Necro's impact in this early game, and I didn't really expect to see Necro have much impact,
He's
especially
not
from
gonna do
position
anything.
1, right? He just wants to farm.
Yeah. Could just go back into his roots of like playing LD, playing all these really memey pos ones. Maybe they get Gooby on Razor or something. I think it was completely overlooked. I don't even think it was banned. I don't know how to view
I didn't see
that.
it coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20 coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So when
We have a
there's
charge
that
up.
potential as a position 4, we saw Seb playing a couple of seasons ago quite a bit, and a few other heroes were picking her up as well. But now she's universal, and we're not seeing her being played as much as a support. Hero represented a bit, and it's strong. Shadow Fiend is so strong. So I'm glad to see it removed from the game.
It's being skipped. Sorry, I don't mean to butt in too much, but I'm surprised they skipped the Shadow Fiend and putting damage. Like, the bear can do like a good chunk. Now he has like the maul bonus and like the attack speed. But yeah, they cannot leave the base.
Raccoon is just diving the base. Oh, looks like the Zeus Axe comes out, and in goes the... They're going to try and shut this Axe down. He still does have his tower, so his team can come if they want him. And Huncho does have a whole lot of damage on this Sand King, but his Spidey senses a ting. Eight minutes in, so